Hey everyone, my name is David Swanson and I am going to go through my Forest River Sunseeker 2400S MBS, and it's a 2017. I custom ordered it and I purchased it from Orlando RV in Winter Park, Florida, which is a suburb of Orlando. And from the very beginning I've had numerous problems from Orlando RV telling me that I was going to receive it by October 15th. A week beforehand I get a call saying that my RV was sent back to Mercedes-Benz because the engine light would not go off, so they had to send it back to Mercedes-Benz. I received it on October 31st. In the beginning I was supposed to get it October 1st and it just kept getting pushed back. So I finally received it October 31st. When they did the walkthrough, they put two RVs right next to my RV, so the slide outs couldn't go out. It was very cramped, and it was backed up against a wall too, so it was very hard to get to be able to see everything. And part of that is my own fault. I should have forced them, but at the same time I'm not like that, and two, I was trusting them, and I should not have. So just for documentation purposes, I'm going to show you what today is. What is today? April 22nd, 2017. What time is it? And I am in Lucerne Valley, which I'm at the Sawtooth Campground, BML Campground. I've been out here since last Tuesday, so I've been out here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 12 days so far. And so I'm going to go through the walkthrough of all the things that are wrong and went wrong with this brand new RV that I've had for 5 months now. I have my notepad here, and we're just going to go through my notepad, making sure I'm on the first page, and show you everything that is going on with it. So, in the living room, and when I call it the living room, this is the living room. First thing, the sunroof. Inside the sunroof is styrofoam. So when you're looking out, when you clean it and looking out, all you see is styrofoam. Especially at night when you can see all the stars, all you're looking at is styrofoam. It's quite the pain. It's very unprofessional. Just no quality control. And that's pretty much what a lot of the stuff is just there was no quality control on this RV. You would think that should be an easy fix, just be able to open up the sunroof and vacuum that out, but for me it's not, and I'll show you once we get up on the roof, because it's die-cord sealed. Okay, the first huge problem, and the biggest problem that I have the most gripe about, is that here's the slide out on my RV. I only have one slide out, and like I said, when I purchased the RV, they had RVs next to mine. And the gentleman, Nate, at Orlando RV showed me the button. He's like, this is the slide out. You just push it out until it's all the way out. It'll stop, let go of the button. Just do the backwards, push it in. Once it's all the way in, it'll stop coming in. Just let go. It's pretty no-brainer. And I believed him. Didn't have no cause to not to believe him. As soon as I got home, I put out the slide out, and this is what I find. The slide out is tearing up the floors. So here's this panel, and we're just going to trace the panel right on down. Turn the camera here. We're going to take my finger, slide it all the way down. Same panel. We're going to move the dog bed, and boom. Here it is on the very same panel in the same location with the slide out, tearing up the floors. Now when the slide out goes in and out, when it catches on the floors, it's tearing the facing off. This one I've been able to, when I put out the slide out, what I do is I hold it with my finger, and then I take my foot and I hold it with my foot, and that's how I put the slide out in and out to keep that from falling off. If we come over to this one has completely fallen off and actually broken in half, chipped down at the bottom, because I can't put my foot over there to save it. So that one I haven't had for months. So that's one of the biggest things. Forest River, I spoke with Mike Jawinski in the warranty repair shop, warranty department, and he told me that the floor here is not glued down. It's just one big stripe, and he said that all they have to do is just cut out one panel and glue, and then they'll glue the new panel in, since this is not glued on. However, speaking to multiple other RV repair shops, I forget the one, it's in Rancho Chickamauga, it's called Belly RV or something like that. Every technician was told said not to do that the whole floor needs to be replaced. Especially being a brand new 2017, the whole floor needs to be replaced, because yes, that'll fix it, but in about a year or two, it's going to start moving on you, warping up, and as the floor starts to adjust as you're driving, that's going to go off center, and you're going to have so much problems, and it's not going to look correct, and your resale value is going to plummet. So they're trying to get me to just glue on a panel, and every technician I've spoken to, third-party technician, has told me not to do that. Absolutely not. The seats. Okay, so it's just me, my 2 dogs, and my cat. But I'm on an extended vacation until I don't know when, actually. I know the absolute end date is July 19th that we'll be back. We may cut the vacation short. We may stay till July 19th. But Buster, hey buddy, Buster Brown, can you come down here? Come here. I gotta show everyone. Come here, come here. Can you get down? Good boy, good boy. So this is the seat that I sit at, and I do work on the laptop while I'm on vacation. I work during the day. I work about 4 hours a day, and then I enjoy my vacation. This is the only seat. This is the seat I work at, and I'm the only one that sits here, and already the stitching on the seat is coming off. And the only person that sits here is me. I have had very few friends and family in here. My mom, from time to time, comes on the weekends. It's been probably 4 or 5 weekends at the most, and she sits in that seat. When she's here, I've had a couple friends, but nothing extended. If we come over to this seat, you can see that it's kind of starting here, but nothing compared to the seat that I normally sit at. And again, you have to remember, this has only been 4.5–5 months of having a brand new 2017 RV. I went to check the AC filter, and there was no filter in it. You could just see all the wires inside. I'm not going to take this down because it's really difficult to get it back up. But I had to go to Lowe's and just buy a huge 25 by 25 AC filter, and then cut it, because they don't sell a filter that fits this, and cut it to this size, and it's a really thick filter. It's the only one I could find, and so it pushes down. You can see that it's not completely pushed up, but it's the best I can do, and I had to have a filter, so that was the best option that I could find and figure that I could do. I told Russ, and they said they were going to. Russ Stahl, who was the West Coast warranty manager at Forest River, was going to send me out one, and never received it. I called back and found out he no longer works there after we discussed a whole bunch of stuff on getting my RV fixed. But that's a story at the end of this about Russ. Okay, let's go over to the cupboard here. These 2 cupboards work. This is how they work. There's I didn't even see this. Oh, I don't know if that screw's coming down. It's not tight, but it's not or I mean it is tight, but I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. But you can see the hardware. And these are the two that I use the most. This has all my plasticware, food containers, and then I use this for extra pantry area, chips and stuff that I don't want to get squished. This is my Reboost Antenna cord that I use to boost my cell phone signal right there, so that's what that cord's, and I just use that to keep it out of the way. This one I hardly ever use, rarely ever use. I go to open it and I find that I can't open it. That the hardware is broken. I've tried to fix it. The only thing that I've tried putting even a little bit of wood glue, and it fixes the problem for a few days, and then you go to open it and it pops back out, busts back up. So now here's this one. Oh my god, this one really pissed me off. Here's the pantry. It's a pull-out pantry. And to close it, you're supposed to just push it in, and it's supposed to lock. It doesn't always lock. And to lock it, for me to lock it, I have to slam it in to get it to lock, and then I have to, from time to time, take a screwdriver and push that up so that it will lock. Once it's locked, then when you go to undo it and pull it out for the first time, the top part is broken. So then I have to push this up, let it go, and then it'll come out. And then when I'm camping, I just leave it how it is, just because it's such a pain. Screen door. I find screws. Probably it's been about 4 trips that I have found screws laying down on this in the stairwell. I have no idea where they're coming from. When I first started driving it, it was nice and quiet, and now when I drive it, the entry door is extremely loud. It's a squealing noise when you're driving, and I'm guessing it has to do with the screws. Where the screws came from, I've looked. I don't know where they came from. I have them, but I find loose screws all over the floor all the time. And also, I've only had it, like I said, for 5 months. I have driven it less than 5,000 miles. I drove it from Orlando, Florida, from I-75, or no, I'm sorry, the Turnpike to I-75, I-75 to I-10, I-10 from Florida to California, to Rancho Cucamonga, California, in 4 days. And then I've done small little 4-day trips at different campsites around Rancho Cucamonga. Pretty much here in the desert at Sawtooth Canyon, and in Idlewild at a 1,000 Trail. I have a 1,000 Trails membership. At 1,000 Trails, we've taken it twice up to Wrightwood Ski Area, once to Bear Valley Ski Area, I believe, this winter, and once to Soledad 1,000 Trails. In all together, less than 5,000 miles as of right now. As I'm sitting here, this is just, I mean, this is cosmetic, but it's just embarrassing when you have a brand new RV and you have friends or family sitting with you, but you're sitting at the table here, and as you're sitting at the table and you look up, there are stains all over the table. You can see it better on this side. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. Let me see if but there are chips and the stain mark, and I've tried everything from even a Mr. Clean Magic Bar. Nothing works to get that off. Okay, the TV. This TV, when Nate at Orlando RV first showed it to me, he could not get it to work. And then he finally did get it to work. He played with it. He said, oh, he forgot to do something, but then no sound would come out of it. And he said HDMI, the sound was supposed to come through HDMI. So finally he hooked up an optical cable, and it works that way through the surround sound system with optical cable, but it won't work with HDMI. The TV works great when I'm hooked up to shore power, when I'm at a campsite like Thousand Trails where I have electricity. It used to work perfect on 12 volt, and now it does not work on 12 volt. It works for about 2 seconds, then all of a sudden I get just lines all down the screen, and then about 2 minutes later it just turns black. I wiggle it a little bit, I start to get the lines again, then goes black, I wiggle it again, lines, and then pretty much it stays on, it's just black. There's nothing I can do. So it doesn't work on 12 volts anymore. Kitchen sink cover. Again, remember, it's just been me 5 months. Or not even really 5 months, this is just going on the 5th month. This is the sink cover. It's all coming, and this is like sandboard, particle board, and it's just flaking off. I find it in the sink all the time. Refrigerator temp. This is just, this has just been frustrating me. It's just one of these, I don't know how to explain it. It's not anger, it doesn't make me angry. It's just extremely frustrating because it's like trying to figure out a mystery. This refrigerator is making me pull my hair out. The freezer works perfect. The temperature stays the same. I purchased 2 of these guys because my mom noticed, and I had noticed, but my mom finally made she said something. She's like, your food is really, really warm. And I said, I know. I thought that was just RV. That's just how our RV refrigerator is. And she said, no, that's really dangerous. You need to check that. So I bought these 2 thermometers on Amazon, and I found out it was in the danger zone. It was up about 45 degrees, and I had it on the coldest setting. The freezer was like 5 degrees. The freezer works perfectly fine. The refrigerator does not. So I was playing with the settings, and nothing I could do to get the settings to keep it in the safe zone. So I thought, well, maybe it's these dinky thermometers. So I bought a weather station that has a freezer and a refrigerator probe that reads the temperature inside and records the temperature inside the freezer and the refrigerator. Freezer works perfectly fine. Refrigerator works. So I'm not 100% sure. I've been doing this every day for the last couple days trying to figure this thing out. But I think it's on backwards, where I have the temperature right now at the warmest setting, and it is staying at, it's been staying at 35 degrees. I know it shows 39, it's just because I had the door open. But it's been staying at 39 degrees. Freezer stays usually at 11 degrees. Right now it's 14, and it's because it's about 100 degrees out here right now in the desert. It's 91. It's going to change in a second. 91 inside the RV right now. Now, when I have it, and I have this all videotaped, I've been videotaping it on my other GoPro, so I have it all documented. But when I have it on the coldest setting, I get alarms that the refrigerator is in the danger zone. It's getting too hot. Or if I have it on the coldest setting, it drops down really far down into the 32 degree where the food freezes, and then a couple hours later, all of a sudden I get an alarm that it is above 40 degrees. So the hot water heater, the hot water heater control board had to be completely replaced. It wouldn't heat the hot water, and so I'm thinking maybe it's the control board of the refrigerator too. Microwave oven. I'm not hooked up to shore power, so the microwave convention oven isn't working. But when I put it, microwave so far works perfect. When I use the convection oven and it's warming up, 20% of the time it starts to make a huge, and it's as soon as you do it, it starts to make a huge squealing sound. The thing sounds like it's going to blow up. My mom was here for the weekend the first time it did that, and she's like, should we get out of the RV? Is that thing going to explode or something? It's really loud, and it doesn't do it every single time. It only does it about, I would say, 20% of the time, 15 to 20% of the time, but there's no rhyme or reason why. It's completely clean. This is a microwave safe bowl. I take that out, I hit the convection oven, and I hit convection, I hit whatever temperature I want, like 375, hit start, and it's a high-pitched squealing sound, and it does not stop. And I can shut it off, I can turn it back on, I can shut it off, turn it back on, it's still there. It's not until I give it an hour or so and then it stops. Utensil drawer, I'm going to come back to that because it's going to be part of the bedroom drawer. Oh, and the next thing is the bedroom drawer on my list. So, bedroom drawer will not, this latch here broke. Will not lock. I should be able to take a screwdriver and flip this open, but it is completely busted inside. So I have to use, where's my one? So when I travel, I have to, whenever I'm driving, I have to put this through and tie it together to that other drawer so it doesn't open up. Now, the utensil drawer has been doing the same thing, but it's working. I can go in there and I can flip this little latch out. Gotta see if it's on there. Okay, I can flip this little latch out, and when it gets stuck, and then I can fix it. But I'm afraid that one of these times it's going to break just like the other one, like the drawer in the bedroom. Okay, over here in the bedroom, this siding is falling out, and it's has little nails, and I can push it back in, and a day later it's coming back out, and it's like it's curved, so it's curving out. That's why it's doing it. I can glue it, but then if I glue it, and one, I don't know if that'll void the warranty or what, so I'm not touching it. Privacy screen. So here's the privacy screen for the bedroom. Just latch it back on. It goes all the way across the bedroom and latches on here. Well, one, it doesn't work anymore because this is all completely off. But you can see that they drilled a hole and did a horrible job. I mean, that's just quality control. They just missed. They drilled the hole in the wrong spot and then just tried to cover it up and made it look horrible and never fixed it, where they could have just put on a new siding or something like that. Bathroom. Well, okay, so in the bathroom, and this is what I'm thinking, but I don't know for sure, is the AC vent. And when I started using the AC in the beginning just to test it out, it stopped working inside the AC. We pulled this out, and styrofoam, big chunks of styrofoam comes flying out. There's chunks of styrofoam inside the venting. Well, here in the winter time, I've been using the heater quite a bit because we've been up in the doing some skiing and Bear Valley and Wrightwood and doing camping up in Idlewild at the Thousand Trails. And here's the heat vent. Heater was working just fine, and then now very little heat comes out of this vent. So I started thinking, well, there's probably styrofoam in there too. I've looked, I can't find any styrofoam, so I don't know, but at the same time it kind of worries me about a fire danger. If there is styrofoam or something in there, so, or whatever might be blocking the heat coming out of it. Oh, that, okay, so okay, back to the bathroom. And then up here, this side, Crown molding is falling off. And again, I get it if this was like a 2-year-old RV. I get that you're driving down the road and things are shaking, and I've heard that it's like going through having a home on it that's being in an earthquake all the time and in a tornado. Get it. I get it if it's a year and a half. I get it if it's been 2 years, 3 years. Things are going to happen like a year and a half. Crown molding, a little slip like that, no problem. Not 5 months, not 4 months. I mean, you have to remember, I'm filming this at 5 months, but these have been here since the beginning. Most of these have been here since the beginning, or at least at the latest 3 months into. So that is not right. That I get it if it's been a year and a half, 2 years, a couple years, you're gonna have things go wrong and fix, but not on a brand new $100,000 RV within the first few months, and most of this coming out of the factory how it is. Oh, back into the bathroom. Sorry, I'm reading my list here. Toilet seat was broken when I got it. This side is completely broken. I've glued it, kind of put some glue on it. Oh, but it's not working anymore. I don't know if you can see that. Oh. Yeah, see here, the refrigerator is sending me an alarm because it's 40 degrees inside now, even though we opened the door for just a few seconds. I was told by Nate at Orlando RV, he had this picked up so that this TV back here would also get, this RV comes with a Kingston high definition antenna, and I'm supposed to get signal on this TV, and he showed me how to do it. He did it. I can't get it to work, so I don't know if that's something broken or I'm just doing it wrong, but I just wanted to FYI, I can't get, no matter when I search for signal, I can't pick anything up. Works fine on this TV, but not on the back TV, and it did work when I first got it because he did it for me. Okay, couple things. We're going to do the cockpit, but just a few things about the that I don't have to show you, I just have to tell you about. It was supposed to come with touch-up paint, did not come with touch-up paint. I was supposed to get touch-up paint, was ordered from Orlando RV, but never got it. I was supposed to get 2 keys with the RV. I only got 1 key. Sorry about the alarm, that's the refrigerator alarm in the background. Okay, so now I got to show you. Now we're into showing you stuff. So when I got the RV, the left blinker didn't work, so I had to take that to Mercedes-Benz. Well, let me get you out of here because it's pretty dark. So I called Mercedes-Benz, and Mercedes-Benz says, yeah, bring it in. If it is our fault, we'll take care of it. If it's not, you have to pay for it and get it reimbursed by Forest River. I wasn't having it, so I called Forest River. They made arrangements to bill Forest River directly, and this was the day that I was supposed to leave for my vacation. I hadn't been on a vacation in 7 years. I hadn't seen my mom in 2 years, my mom and my brother and my new baby niece in 2 years, and I wanted to be there for Christmas. The guy at Mercedes-Benz, his name was Todd, and Todd, if you're watching this, if you ever get to watch this, you're awesome. You're the most amazing. You took great care of me. I love you guys at Mercedes-Benz. He was amazing. The left blinker didn't work, and it was Forest River's fault. It was part of the entertainment center that Forest River installed, and there's so many problems with that thing, but we'll get to that in a second. This was on a Friday afternoon. He made arrangements with Forest River and Mercedes to have the parts FedExed out and delivered Saturday morning. I arrived Saturday morning at 8 a.m. The parts were already there. I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he went down to FedEx and picked them up. Got it installed, and I was out that morning before noon. He was awesome. So big shout out to Mercedes-Benz of Sanford, and Sanford is in a suburb of Orlando, Florida. But big thank you. You guys are awesome. So he fixed my left blinker. and he found out two things about this. Let me see if I can get some light in here. Oh, come on, light. There we go. There's a little bit of light. So here's the entertainment center. Entertainment center has a DVD player. It also has an app that you can install on your phone to put the GPS so that you can see your GPS on here. Well, none of that works. The only thing that works pretty much is the Bluetooth, where you can hear sound from your phone. That is about the only thing that works on it. Comes to find out, Mercedes-Benz taught it. Mercedes-Benz finds out that they never installed, Forest River never installed the brake cable. So without the brake cable, you can't install the GPS map on here. You can't play DVDs on here. Mike, the warranty repair guy, head of warranty at Forest River, told me, "Oh, well, that's because you don't have to watch DVDs up here. You have a TV. That's what you use that to watch DVDs. So you installed this really awesome entertainment center, but the only thing you can do with it is have Bluetooth on it." Yeah. You know, I fell for some of the stuff when I first got it, but not that. So then I talked to another guy, Russ, and he's like, "Yeah, the brake cable was supposed to be installed." And I spoke to another dealership to verify, so that was just BS. And Mercedes-Benz agreed. Then found out when Mercedes-Benz was in here, he told me, "Whatever you do, this is where you control the AC and the heat and the fan and everything like that." He said, "Whatever you do, do not touch this. When you touch it, when you turn on the AC, be as gentle as you can. When you push the buttons in, do it as gentle as you can, because Forest River only put one screw into the entertainment center. They were supposed to put like multiple screws to secure it to the entertainment center when they installed this entertainment center, and they never did." He said, if you push on this, it's going to fall back and fall down into it. So he said, whatever you do, be super careful until you get that fixed. And Forest River has to fix that. And I pushed it once and it started to fall in a little bit, and I grabbed the dial and pulled it back in and was able to get it into place. But yeah, he is correct. You have to really gently push that. Just another quality control thing that just was sloppy. So I have to be really careful about turning on the AC or the heater. Alrighty, and sorry about that. I think I hit the record button when I was moving the camera. So back to my list. Cockpit. Can't play DVDs or use the map. No touch-up paint. One key. The seat. So, oh, you can't see this, but there is supposed to be a styrofoam cover that covers all the wiring under each of the seats. This one is completely broken off inside, which is kind of good because I was able to look in there and I see loose screws. This one is in place, but if you look, oh, let me show you. So see how there's a cover on this one, but it's hanging off. They just like slid it in and it's hanging off the edge and it's about to break. This one is completely broken off. It's in pieces down in there. When I looked, I was able to see it, and I could see loose screws in there as well. I'm going to turn off this light. I don't want to run down my battery. Okay. I'm just looking before we go outside if there's anything else in here. Okay, one last thing. This is cosmetic, just sloppiness. But I think they made the wrong holes or something, and then used like white touch-up paint, and it looks like whiteout going down this molding. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but when you're laying in bed or you're watching, and at night, once the LED lights come on, the orange lights, it really displays, and it looks like someone just took white out and just took boom, 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 boom. And then it looks like here, they just never did cover it up, and they didn't. I don't know. It's really odd. It's just sloppy work. Okay, so I think that's. I'm just looking at. Okay, so the rest is outside, except for this is in and out. So here is the surround sound system, and let me get over here to the radio so I can show you what's going on. Okay, I just hit a channel. I'm out in the desert, so I don't get much. Let me try something that could. There we go. So you can hear it. Now you're going to see we've got speakers A, B, and C. Right now it's set to speakers A, which is inside the RV, and all the speakers inside the RV work fine. It sounds amazing. I love this surround sound system. If I hit A, it turns it off, speaker off. No sound inside. Turn it on, works fine. Let's turn off speaker A and turn on speaker B. And we'll turn it up. You got to turn it up a bit. And we come out here. And you can see the outdoor speaker. That outdoor speaker works just fine. But this speaker, there's no sound. So I thought, okay, let's shut off speaker B, and maybe the right speaker over on this one is speaker C. I turn on speaker C and there is nothing. So I don't know if they just have the, I took this off to look. I have my amateur radio license. I have the highest degree in amateur radio. I have my amateur radio extra. I looked at all the cables. I didn't dig into it greatly, but I could not find the cause of it. So I don't know if they just never ran the wire or what is going on. I don't know if now the TV, Nate thought, he said he wasn't sure, but he thought it was supposed to be hooked up to the surround sound. So I thought the bedroom TV was speaker C, B was the outdoor speakers, and A was the indoor speakers that are hooked to the oh, sorry guys, I gotta move the camera for a second. I got a ladybug on me. And that speaker A is related to this TV and the radio and what have you. I don't know. All I know is only one speaker outside works. Okay, so let's turn off that, save some power. Alright, time to go up on the roof. Okay, so up on the roof. Okay, we're gonna let the camera adjust here for a second since we just came from dark to outside. I might have to stop recording. I thought it was going to adjust. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and start a new file here. Okay, back with you. For some reason, my GoPro didn't want to focus. I had to reset all the settings, and it finally focused outside, or did the I don't know if it was the ISO or what, but all right. So back to it. So the stitches on the awning. Are starting to come off here, and I'm afraid these are the beginning of the stitches, and it's just going to continue to rip on down. And I've used the awning 3 times, and I put it all the way out once for a test and 1 time in Idlewild, and I've used it probably additional 3 times to put in it maybe just a quarter, maybe a third of the way out when it was sprinkling out, just so when I could wipe the dogs down when it was raining out. Dicor. They had splashed dicor everywhere. It's just, I mean, again, this is just sloppy work. I had my X up here, and said the very same thing. First thing came up, said the same thing. It just, what is this? It's just sloppy. Dicor, big run of Dicor. Over here, just a big old mess. I've tried to clean up some of these spots with mineral spirits. Dicor, and you know, this is the first new thing that I've ever had, and then you can see here the paint is already cracking here. 5 months, guys, remember, 5 months. Here's the sunroof with the styrofoam in it, where you have to take out all the Dicor and unscrew it, clean up to get the styrofoam cleaned out. Again, same thing my ex said, just what the hell, that's just horrible. Fingerprints in the Dicor, and this is the first new thing I've ever had. I keep really super good care of it. I purchased this antenna, the Reboost Antenna, that when you're out away from signal, cell phone signal, it boosts your cell phone signal. And as you can see, Dicor splash there, but I put down special zip blocks to keep the cables nice and neat. I run it nice and neat. I run it down the line, and they had this cable from the antenna just flopping in the wind, so I bolted this cable down, and this is my Dicor seal, and kept it nice. I don't know why anyone would drip Dicor on the roof. I don't know how you would do that unless you just got the caulk gun sitting down and just letting it drip, and still it doesn't really drip out. It's pretty thick stuff, so just awful. It's just like someone just doesn't care about that this is a $100,000 unit and that you work your butt off to buy it, and they just don't care. It's just poor quality control, poor people just not caring at all. So let me see what we've got left. Okay, so that is the roof, and we are not done yet. We got the worst to come, or some of the worst to come. I mean, the floor was pretty bad, but this gets even worse. Okay, so let me just put my notepad down here and open up the big bay door. A couple things. One that they had to fix. This is the hot water heater, the control board. Having it for just a few weeks, the control board completely died. We were up in Wrightwood ski area. You know, it's like 25 degrees there, and absolutely no hot water to shower with for a couple days. That was brutally cold. Forgot I had that unlocked. The weather stripping on most of all the bay doors are coming off. When it's raining, this leaks in, so I have to put towels down. This light, there's a light up there. That light doesn't work. If I flick it and hit it enough times, sometimes it comes on, but most of the time it does not work. Okay, back to my notepad. Okay, wet bay door. This happened, I think, at the same time up in Wrightwood. No, I'm sorry, this didn't. This happened in Orlando right when I went to leave for my trip. Was trying to call in everybody, Orlando RV. Nobody would help me. Finally, I had a technician come out, and I had to pay $125 to help me break into it. We had to use screwdrivers, and we've chipped the paint. We used screwdrivers trying to get this door open. The door, I just locked it. The door does not open. We've broken it enough so that if I use my knee or another hand, sometimes it opens. Oh, of course not. It won't. Yeah. So sometimes it opens. It's not going to open for me this time. And no, this is locked. Because if it's locked, you can't open it at all. This is unlocked. So I have to dump my tanks tomorrow too. This has got to open. Alright, well anyways, you can see what my problem is. I can't get into the wet bay door. It takes a lot of work to get into it. So now comes to the next part. So let's come over here. And here underneath the slide out is the propane. First time we ran out of propane, we're heading off for our next trip with my mom and my dad. My dad, my mom and my brother and my niece and my nephew, and we are heading out. So proud of this thing, telling them about it, trying to talk them into getting an RV so I have someone to go RVing with as well. We stop at a gas station to get propane, and guess what? We can't get propane. The reason why is that they said they couldn't fill the propane tank. After we had to break into it, and I'm going to talk to you about the door in a second, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Comes to find out, we go to another gas station, they can't fill it. I go to a place called CW Feed, who owns a Forest River. It's a feed supply store for animals. They sell propane, and the owner comes out, really awesome. He has a Forest River, and he said they mounted your propane tank too high and it can't be filled. And so I called Forest River, and he said, Russ in warranty said, yeah, there's a whole bunch of RVs that went out with the tank mounted too high. Really? Because when I got the RV, Orlando RV had me come out and look at it. The sales rep, Steve, said that he turned it on and used the engine air conditioning here in Orlando, Florida, when he was showing it to me, because he said that the propane tank wasn't filled, but they would fill it before I purchased it. I would come out with a full tank of gas and full tank of propane. So when I went to pick it up for the first time, yeah, the propane was completely full, which means they knew about the problem, which means they had to have dropped the propane tank, filled it up, and put it back without caring or without saying, hey, there's a problem, but just wanting me to sign the paperwork and give me the RV, and not fixing the problem where they could have fixed the problem within a day. So when we went to go get the propane for the first time, and still to this day, we couldn't get propane. The door does not open. And as you can see, there's cut marks or screwdriver marks from trying to open this door. I paid a trucker at Flying J $100 to help me break into it the first time to get it filled, even though we couldn't get it filled, but could not get into it. So for the first 2 months, I could not get propane. I had to be docked. I pretty much had to be at shore power all the time because I could not use the generator, could not use the heater. Cut a lot of my vacation short, from skiing trips to Big Bear, skiing trips with my brother and my nephew. And I was at Idlewild Thousand Trails, and I was taking a look at it, and I did find a special trick that I could open it. I have to crawl underneath here, and I have to use a screwdriver, and I can come up underneath here with this screwdriver adapter thing I've created to get into it, and I can manually. It takes a lot of work and a little trickery, but I can push the latch down and I can get this propane door open to get it filled. So it is possible. the wet bay door, 50-50 chance of opening that thing. There's no trick of opening that thing other than pushing it in and crossing your fingers and hoping. But here, after a couple months, after playing with it for a while, I was able to figure out a way with a screwdriver, with a stick taped to the screwdriver, with another stick to push it down. I'm able to get the propane door open. So at least I can get propane. But now it's it's springtime, and I need propane when I'm out here camping at BML land to recharge the batteries. But it was miserable with not having heat and not being able to go skiing, and that was one of the big reasons for the RV, was being able to go on ski trips, because I have property in Colorado, and my brother's a huge skier out here in Rancho Cucamonga, and I have skiing videos of Big Bear, and then all of a sudden, boom, we had to cut all of our skiing trips short. Okay, next thing is this step. This step was nice and tight, and I don't have the door open right now because I don't want to let the flies in, but when you go to step on it, it feels like it's going to break off now. It's super loose, and especially this other side. Both of them are super tight, but after driving, it feels like, as you can see, it feels like it's going to break off. And I can't see the screen because of the sun, but if you can pick that up, you can see how it's starting to get really loose. And the paint here is cracking. And this was a brand new paint job. This is a custom paint. I paid an extra $4,000 to have the coach painted. So those are all the problems that I know of. The scary part is, with all these problems that I've listed, it's the other problems that I don't know about. It scares the heck out of me driving this thing, not knowing what else could be going on with this coach. That's what's been going on with this brand new 2017 Forest River 2400S MBS RV that I custom ordered and waited 2 months to get. And this is what has happened to me within the first 4 months, and 4 or 5 months. It's April, I forgot what Google said it was, April 21st today. I purchased it on April 31st, October 31st of 2016, so we'll say, what was it, November, so December, January, February, March, April, 5 months. And remember, most of these problems, 95% of these problems that I've showed you, were already here before I bought the coach. So wanted to document all that. I'm going in on Monday to the RV Man in Colton, California, to hopefully get a lot of these problems fixed. And another thing is the water cap is supposed to be hooked here. Yeah, that's a dumb thing, because no matter how many times they fix it, it's not going to work. This is the outlet for the propane heat, and it melts it. That's really dumb. Someone obviously could probably lose their water cap. I just stick it in my pocket when I go to fill the portable water. But that is what's going on with my Forest River. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified of all the new videos that come out. Don't forget to check out our social media pages, facebook.com/2pups and a cat, Twitter at twitter.com/2pups and1cat, and instagram.com/2pups and a cat. And check out our website. I've done a lot of work on the website. I keep it up to date. It's very professional. We worked really, really hard on the website, so check out 2pupsandacat.com. And safe travels. Hopefully I'll see you on the road sometime. And thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.